Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram, he's at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we are talking DDG and Halle Bailey, y'all. I believe their court cases today or this week or whatever, because Halle's supposed to be going out of the country this week to film that new movie in Italy. Why did DDG file an emergency motion, y'all? And I'm just disgusted. He filed an emergency motion to prevent Halle Bailey from taking Halo out of the country and claims that she's a risk to herself and the baby. DDG has filed an emergency motion to stop Halle Bailey from taking their infant son out of the country, claiming she poses an imminent emotional and psychological risk to the child. Filed the documents on Wednesday this morning, asking for an emergency hearing because he says Halle has made plans to fly with their son Halo to Italy on Saturday. DDG says the court shouldn't allow this because Halle isn't mentally healthy enough to care for herself and their child, and he worries about what she might do if she leaves the court's jurisdiction. Are you kidding me right now? DDG provides examples of alleged conduct he thinks is troubling, claiming Halle once took his GUN and left the house without telling him where she was going. DDG alleges that he ultimately found her outside just holding the weapon. He says she was pregnant when the incident went down. He alleges Halle once tried to have an unalive procedure behind his back, but says she ultimately changed her mind and decided not to go through with it. On another occasion, 2 months after Halo was born, DDG claims Halle sent a series of alarming text messages threatening to unalive herself and suggesting that their infant son Halo might also be harmed. As you know, Bailey has accused DDG of abusive behavior in the past, including once when she alleged he slammed her face into a steering wheel and chipped her tooth. DDG tells a different version of events, claiming he came to pick up Halo for his custodial time with his son, but Halle jumped to his back seat when he did, demanding they come up with a formal co-parenting schedule. DDG alleges she became increasingly agitated and started jumping from the back seat to hit him, and her momentum carried her forward and she smacked her head on the steering wheel. In fact, DDG says he actually was on the receiving end of ABUSC by Halle, including photos of a large cut on his hand and documents which he says that Bailey caused. DDG is asking the judge to block Halle from taking Halo to Italy, also wants sole and legal and physical custody of their son, and if he's not granted sole custody, then he wants all custodial exchanges facilitated by a third party. We've reached out to Halle so far, no word back. This is so disgusting. This is so disgusting. And it's the audacity of DDG to utilize Halle Bailey's postpartum depression against her. It is disgusting that he is trying to claim that she's controlling him when he's the one that is controlling her. He's trying to prevent her from taking her son out of the country. And you were just on stream talking about how you wanted to take the kid out to Hawaii and everything else. And it's going to depend on my court date. It's going to depend on my court date and da-da-da-da-da. No. Listen, y'all, for the people who are going to be like, oh, we tried to tell Halle Bailey, we tried to warn her, this and that, we're beyond that now. We're beyond that now. For the people who said, this is why you should get married before you have kids, da-da-da-da, we're beyond that. We're beyond that. Halo's here. Halo's here, and Halle has to deal with this for the next 16 years. She has to deal with this for the next 16 years, y'all. And it is going to be an ugly court battle of back and forth, of he said, she said. And you have DDG, who has weaponized the internet and his fan base against Halle. And I find it interesting that if this was such a huge concern, DDG, why did it take you so long to file an emergency response. So it just so happens while you're out at Streamer University, while you're out at DreamCon, while you're out at DDG's pool party, and I believe DDG's got another event coming up this weekend, and you got a prom that you are playing on the phone with India Love about, trying to match outfits and all this and all that, and you got a trip to Hawaii coming up. While you're doing all of that, now all of a sudden, a few days before Halle is supposed to leave for her big movie she is filming with the only Bridgerton man I'll acknowledge, which is the fine man Reggie from season 1. Now all of a sudden there's a problem. Now all of a sudden you want sole custody, and it's the audacity, considering your brother and your entourage just got in a fight at DreamCon a couple of days ago that you threatened you would be a part of, that you alleged basically that if you were to have fought, you would have done a lot more damage than your brother and everything else. And you were boxing your own students at Streamer University. But Halle is the violent one? Is this what we're doing? She's all of a sudden violent. She's all of a sudden so unstable and is going to unalive herself and everything else. Then why did the judge grant her sole physical and legal custody right now, if that was the case? Why did she do that? And this is the examples that I'm talking about, y'all, where people try to manipulate the system. They try to manipulate the audience. If this was the case, DDG, where was your response when Halle got granted the restraining order and everything else? Why did you wait right until she's about to leave the country to file this motion? Oh yeah, because you wanted to control her. You want to sabotage her career. You want to prevent her from thriving. Because since you no longer have access to go to the Met Gala, since you no longer have access to go to the Super Bowl with her connections, with her VIP experience and everything else, since you can't go to the Oscars and everything else, since you can't go to the Grammys anymore as Halle Bailey's date to try to meet Jay-Z and Beyonce again and everything else, because you don't have that access to gain clout off of Halle Bailey, and because you cannot use Halo now as content on your Twitch streams, this is what you come up with. This is what it took all this time for you to come up with in a response. Like I am just so disgusted, you guys, that this is what we're dealing with. For Lavamere Tunsil fans, is he related to Martell? Is this Martell's nephew or cousin or something? Like what the welly? What is going on? What is going on that this is happening? Like I am so through. I am too through with all of this. I am too through with all of this, you guys. Like this isn't it. This is not it at all. This is not it at all. And this was a few weeks, this is what I'm saying. This was a few weeks back. I think I did the first video 3 weeks ago when all this went down. When Halle was granted the restraining order, was granted sole physical and legal custody of Halo 3 weeks ago on May 13th. It takes you nearly a month later for you to file this emergency motion. So because your schedule accommodated you to do whatever you wanted without your child and everything else, go to Streamers University in Akron, Ohio, go to DreamCon, go to Arizona, go to these pool parties, do all of this, do all of that, because all of that accommodated for you, where you didn't need your child around. You could pick up and go as you please. But now when has an important role, has an important budget and everything else, now you want to do this? And where did that cut come from, DDG? Where did that cut come from? Because all of the stuff that you and your entourage are into, I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. And your alleged story about how Halle got to the front of the steering wheel makes zero sense. Makes zero sense. And again, if this was so dire, if you needed sole custody that bad, DDG, where were you 3 weeks ago? Why did it take you 3 weeks to respond? Why did it take you just a couple of days? We are on Wednesday. Halle is slated to leave on Saturday. Why did you do this? To prevent her from going out the country and taking the baby out the country, to try to sabotage her career and everything else. If the judge thought that Halle was a danger to herself or a danger to Halo, why would he grant her sole physical and legal temporary custody until y'all next court date? And what's crazy is you were the one that didn't even want the baby at the beginning. You are the one who didn't even want Halo. And you were calling her all types of B words and everything else. And that was when Chloe had to come out and start speaking on Halle's behalf, because you were just flat out lying on her. And can't you believe it? This is the same person who tried to gaslight the audience and tried to claim that he would never say anything bad about Halle Bailey, say how good of a mom she is, she's an amazing person, all this and that. Like, you can't keep your lies straight. You can't keep your lies straight, but you're going to do this to the mother of your child in court. You're going to file all of this foolishness and try to use her postpartum depression against her, try to utilize any type of, emotions or things she was going through against her, and then you try to bring in the manosphere, bring in your audience from Twitch, bring in your female supporters, and try to weaponize anything that Halle has done against you. No. But my thing is this, DDG, you didn't say any of this when y'all were together. You didn't say any of this when y'all were engaged. And in fact, you're even saying on recent streams that if you could do it all over, you would want to still be with Halle. And that now is not the right time because of y'all legal issues, but maybe in the future you would try to even get her back. So why are you pulling this stunt in the court? Make it make sense. But this is enough, you guys. Enough is enough. I am tired of these narcissistic ABUSING of this trying to do this. And you have been problematic. You have said all types of stuff. You've made all types of threats on your streams to people. And you have tried to, claim that Halle was keeping you from your son, but she proved to the court that you pop up unannounced. There's been other girls, and maybe Halle needs to get Ruby Bros. Maybe she needs to get all the ex-girlfriends to come up here and testify as to how obsessive DDG is. Literally, there is just a clip of him being mad at India Love that she doesn't answer his calls, that she ignored his calls like twice or something. And that's not urgent enough for her to respond to him, that she needs to respond right away when he calls. And people don't think that there's nothing problematic about this type of behavior, y'all. There's a lot more I want to say, but I will save that for another video because I got to get back. I'm so disgusted, y'all. I am absolutely disgusted. But there's that. That's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.